So apparently, Tank has been vindicated of his prior charges. Um, but the coast ain't clear, man. Yo, listen, the coast ain't clear. For a guy like Tank, with his level of visibility, his level of success, his level of resources, a dude like this, the coast will never be clear for a guy like that. Why? Because he's always going to be viewed as a target. A target for who? A target for a dust bunny. I'll call it what it is, a dust bunny. As men, we need to be very specific who we position ourselves around, what environments we position ourselves in, what activities we choose to engage in. Because the reality of it is, some people got more to lose than others. And what I see too much is men who had to work their ass off to get to where they are, to get to where they want to be, to come from nothing and become something. Nobody gives a man nothing in this world, okay? Huh? James Brown said it. This is a man's world. And you got to be a man to make something out of yourself out here. Huh? You got to be a man to make something out of yourself out here. So imagine a guy from the gutter of Baltimore to come out the ranks out of nothing, literally out of the nothing, and climb his way to the professionals and to the top of the professionals. Bro, that's a huge accomplishment in itself. I understand some people feel like, hey, he cherry picks. His team has been giving him gimme fights pretty much his whole career, blah, 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 whatever. Listen, bro, I'm not here to debate all of that. I'm not a debater, bro. I'm not here to do all that. What I'm here to do is speak facts. Because if we go to debate, bro, we'll be debating from now until Armageddon. Okay? You go have your opinion. I'm going to have mine. It is what it is. One thing that is undeniable is, guess what? This guy, Gervonta Tank Davis, has a solid work ethic. Because guess what? He got to be the one waking up 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever to go run multiple miles, okay? 5, 6, 7, 8 miles. Who knows how many miles he's running, okay? But these boxers don't just go up and walk and run a mile. They're exerting their bodies beyond normal capacity. So in order to be able to have that kind of output, you got to be willing to endure more than the average person is willing to endure, period. It is what it is, man. Okay? He getting up early in the morning, whatever time, knocking out miles of running. Okay? On top of that, the eating habits are different. The lifestyle, different. Okay? Then this guy's in the gym for hours at a time, running drills, doing the same shit over and over until it's muscle memory. And he's in the ring and then he does it and he don't even know how he did it. It was just impulse. Boom! Okay? He had to climb himself up the amateur ranks first and then get to a point where he felt comfortable enough to be recognized and to work his way up to a point where he's like, okay, now I could do the pros. Next level. Then working his way up in the pros to get to the level where he's making buku money. What are we talking about? That fool making buku money. Man, fellas, what I see take place so much is that a man, don't matter your race, don't matter Don't matter what part of the world you from, okay? At the end of the day, you come from nothing and make something of yourself. Women want to be around the winners in life. Let's cut the crap, okay? If you're not working on being a winner in life, what are you doing? And it doesn't mean that your victories have to be grand. They could be grand to you. It may not mean nothing to me, but it mean the world to you. I got victories in my life that may not mean nothing to you, but guess what? It means the world to me. It's special to me. So I don't care what you think. Straight up. I don't care what you think. This was for me. It wasn't for you. It wasn't for nobody. It was for me. What I see too much is guys having to work their ass off, man. And it breaks my heart to see this shit. Guys working their ass off to get to where they get to, where they, whatever level in life they get to, but they get somewhere where they're affluent, that, you know, they're doing well. And then they're positioned, and then out of all the women they can choose from, they pick bums. This dude had a quarrel, a physical altercation with a stripper. Okay? No disrespect to the strippers of the world. You're entertaining, but let's keep it a buck. You're nothing compared to an elite level boxer. The reason why these type of chicks go for the line of work that they go for is because they don't have the work ethic to endure long suffering, to push themselves to become somebody. Because one thing that's universal with both men and women, if you want to be somebody and you want to be somebody that's respected, you got to work for that shit, man. You got to work for it. And I hate to see men who've worked so hard to get to where they are, whatever they're doing, right? Position themselves around nobodies. Chicks that all they got going for themselves are their looks. You talk to them, they got nothing of value to add to your life. They got nothing meaningful to say. All they got is a fat butt, a small waist, big breasts, a pretty face. They just nice to look at and nice to hunch on. But after that, she adds no value to your life. We got to stop doing that, man. We got to stop doing that. Bro, if you got to downgrade in the looks department to upgrade in the cooperation and the submission piece, then do what the fuck you got to do, man. Do what you got to do. Do what you got to do, man. If you got to downgrade in the looks department to upgrade in cooperation and submission, do what you got to do, bro. Because what matters is the quality of the woman. The quality of the woman isn't relegated to what she looks like externally. It's relegated to who she is internally. Yo, bro, last time I checked, looks don't raise children. Mentality does. Her mentality will absolutely impact the way children are raised. Okay? And as men, we owe it to ourselves to respect ourselves enough to be selective in the women we choose. And no, you ain't got to be somebody on the socioeconomic level and visibility level of a Gervonta Tank Davis to employ this type of strategy and mindset. You can be a regular 9-to-5 working kind of dude like me and employ this strategy. And guess what? It works. Even on a smaller scale. So if it works on a smaller scale, it's going to work on a larger scale. Cut it out. Respect yourself enough to know when you ain't got no business being somewhere you ain't got no business being. Respect yourself enough to know to step away from people you ain't got no business being around. Respect yourself, because if you don't respect yourself, nobody will respect you. Women go on TikTok all day, fake cry. They make the sounds and make the faces, no tears come out. They're actresses. They're imposters. They're preying on people's vulnerability to gain sympathy. For what? Attention. And when you have people's attention, what happens? Nothing. You just wanted to be seen. Don't be someone who thirsts to be seen. Be someone who thirsts to inspire, to encourage. We need more men in this world. We ain't got enough. We got plenty of males. Some of them may have opted to become another man's woman. But you don't have to choose that. You could choose to be a pillar in your community, a pillar in your neighborhood, a pillar, a role model of some type of a role model that maybe you didn't see growing up. I ended up becoming a role model that I didn't see, but I walk in that energy daily. Why? Because if I don't do it, who will? If I don't show day in and day out what a man looks like, how will anyone know what a man looks like? Okay? Be solid. Be true. Be mindful. Every king is very selective of who he brings in his kingdom. Remember that. One love.